it's your boy Kyle Allison back with season 3 of Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem. Brought to you by iDrinkBeverages.com on VegasHypeMedia.com. Check us out all season long. We'll be here from the fall, the winter, the spring, to the summer. And check out our newer sponsor, iWorldCoffee.com on VegasHypeMedia.com. This is Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem, season 3. Woo!
Hey, what's up, Vegas? We are back with another one. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. We got Miss Ciana Pelekai here in the studio. Before we get to her, though, we're going to go into our first song. This is Ariana Grande's Santa Tell Me, as we're getting ready for Christmas in just 3 weeks. We'll be right back with more Ciana Pelekai here on Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem, our new studio here at VegasHypeMedia.com. We'll be right back, folks. And that was Miss Ariana Grande doing her Santa Tell Me. We said we would have a lovely intro from Miss Ciana coming in. Let's bring her in here live. Ciana, what's up?
What's up? How you doing, Kyle?
I am doing so splendid. I'm going back and forth here. We got a new studio that we just moved into. This is actually the first show broadcasting from the new studio here at VegasHypeMedia.com. So welcome to being the first guest here on the show.
Thank you. I like it here. It's bigger. More room.
Bigger. It smells like paint. It's just,
Smells fresh.
Cameras can't see. Yeah, exactly. That's the
Right,
word.
there
It
we
smells
go.
fresh paint. Hold on, folks. We got more Ciana coming up. Let me just turn the cameras on so you can see her lovely self. And she's going to tell us all about her new latest single called Bluff. She's going to tell us about what she got going on in New York and what's coming up for the holiday season for her and her musical career. And then wonder if she's getting into any more pageants as her life progresses. We'll see. All right, so there she is live on camera. There,
What
folks.
up, guys?
See, there she is. Lovely Ciana. So, Ciana, I haven't seen you in a long time, but a
I
lot's
know.
happened to you since I
Yeah.
last seen you. You've aged, obviously.
I grew a year older.
You grew a year older,
There we go.
and you're not bluffing anymore. You're telling what's your new latest single
Mm-hmm.
called Bluff. Tell me how that came about.
Okay, so from the beginning, I'm from Hawaii, of course,
Yes.
right?
Which
So
island are you from?
Oahu.
Nice.
So born and raised in Waianae, the west side, the best side. Sorry, you just got to say that, right? Anyways, so from there, I kind of just sang on my life since I was 4, and then we decided as a family to move to Vegas, of course, to be closer to my mom's side of the family, and then for me to have more opportunities for me as a singer or as an artist to make it in this industry. So we moved here. And then using social media, that's a big thing. You got to push yourself out there with those hashtags, all those videos. You got to do all of that, right?
It's another job, social media.
It is. It really is.
Job. You really got to put some time into it, like every day.
That's what I got to do. I mean, I got a job right now, but then when I'm not doing that, I'm on my social media almost 24/7. It's like I don't even sleep type of thing.
Wow. But you're a singer. Don't you need your rest?
Yeah. I mean, I get like 5 hours of sleep. That's good. 5-6 hours of sleep.
You're gonna have to tell us, for those singers that are out there, what do you do to keep your voice good? Because you're in Vegas, and it's not the best place for singers because the air is dry. Here, and you got the dust.
Yep.
How do you keep your voice, fresh and performance ready, recording ready? How do you do that? Living here.
So for me, like you said, oh, are you sick? I was like, no, this is my voice. I have a raspy voice. Like some people's like, oh, you sound like a guy. I was like, oh, thanks. I like that. I can sing low too. I can do any type of note. But for me, you kind of got to keep drinking water.
Right.
Don't really drink sugar, caffeine, and stuff like that. And then when it comes to times where I have to record or I'm about to perform somewhere, 1 week in advance or even 2 weeks, I start drinking my throat coat. I get this throat coat. And then also I start steaming. So instead of kind of getting a steamer from Amazon or from the store, I actually make it my own. So I boil water, put it in a bowl, and then I just go under a towel for 10 minutes and let the steam go. I mean, it's burning, it's hot, but it helps. It kind of opens up everything, like opens up my system. So for all of you out there, if you guys want to ever sing and you guys are going through a rough time with your voice, just drink throat coat. Do not over sing. I mean, yeah, practice, but don't overdo it.
Right.
And then, of course, just rest and take care of it.
Now, when you're under that steam, if you're probably a hot mess when you come from under, everything's just coming out of you, right?
I look fabulous after I come out of the steam. I look fabulous, like just sweating. It looks like I just worked out. Sometimes I'll be like, just worked out, but now I just came out of the steam.
Tricks of the trade of social media, just letting everybody think one thing and it's really
right. You never know.
You never know nowadays with social media. Now, when we were off camera, you were talking about you're headed back to New York. You're going out there on December the 12th through the 17th. What brings you back out to the Big Apple?
So I've been working on a couple of songs, a couple of singles. I'm not going to say it just yet because, I want it to be a surprise and we're still working on it. But we're heading out to New York in a couple of weeks to do a photo shoot, meet many wonderful people, connect with others, go to Google, and we're going to go to like maybe this bowling party. And many don't know I'm a bowler, so I'm going to kick everybody's butt in bowling. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, what's your highest score you've ever bowled?
239. I need to be higher though.
Yeah,
like I had that for how many years?
That's not bad. The highest I've ever bowled, and it was just, I don't know. I guess it was just luck and all the stars lined up. It was a 265.
Okay, I gotta quit bowling then.
No, that hasn't happened. That only happened once. Before I'm usually like low 2s or high 100s. That has never happened again.
But mine's has been for years. Like ever since high school bowling in Hawaii, I've been bowling high 100s and low 200s, but I never passed the 239. I'm like, when is that ever going to happen? I always mess up. I'm never consistent.
The stars got to line up. It was just I had people ask me, are you a professional bowler? And I'm like, no. It's like, what? Like, how are you getting all these strikes?
Yeah.
It just was, everything was just right. The breathing
why I
was
think
right.
You just don't think about it too. When you don't think about it, it just happens. Things happen.
And for me, when I bowl, like my breathing has to be correct for me to have a good game. And I have to my walk up to the lane has to be like a certain walk. It's really mechanical.
Do you take 4 steps? You know, like the 1, 2, 3.
I'm actually 3 steps. Yeah, I'm actually 3 steps.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, and bam. But it's like my hand has to be a certain way and has to release a certain way, and that breathing is everything. How you breathe, it's like. And that day, it was just everything just was coming together, and then boom, and people started gathering around. It's like, oh my God, he could get a 300. I didn't get the 300.
I know. I thought I was gonna get 300 one time, and my mom was like, "How do you bowl?" Because I have acrylic nails on, so I bowl with these long nails. But I mean, last week I'm in a bowling league with my family,
Right.
and I bowled. I got like a 650 series, which I bowled 200 each game. So I was
Wow.
like,
It's like keep like,
wow,
hey, maybe we all should go get our nails done, right?
let's go after this.
Get the acrylics on. If that helps my game out, why not?
Right.
So you got new music coming out. When I first met you, you were
Mhm.
in pageantry, in Miss Silver State pageant. You
Yeah.
were obviously Miss Silver State teen.
Mhm.
I know you went on to the Miss Nevada teen and did really well there as well.
Yeah.
Is that something you're gonna do again, or was that just it was just a one-time thing for you?
Well, now since I'm 19, I can't do teen anymore. I have
Right.
to do Miss.
Gotta go
But
to the
I
women's
mean,
world.
I'll do pageants here and there, like little ones on the side.
Mhm.
But right now, I'm kind of like pushing pageants to the side and focusing more on my career
On your-
because singing is my career and that's what I want to do. So I
Right.
want to be able to put all my heart and like
Soul
do
into
a
that.
whole soul into that and focus on that. But maybe later on in the future, I'll do like Miss because I feel like after you come out of the teen system, you gotta like have a couple of years
Couple
to
years to
grow
get
and
some
something. Like you can't be like a 19-year-old going up against like a 26-year-old.
It could happen, right? You could go there and pull it off, but I understand
Right,
you
you're
want to
right.
get some life experience under
Yeah,
your belt.
that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. Your single Bluff. Tell me about it. Who wrote it? How did that all come together? And then the words that you're singing in that song. Did they resonate with you?
Okay, so like how I said, I moved here. So when I was on social media, that's how I got discovered by my management team, John Tone's music group.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a management team that's based out in New York City. So
Mhm.
I go there almost like every other month. Sometimes I've been traveling like every month
Right.
since I've been here.
Racking up those freaking flyer
I
miles.
was like, I gotta go. But I go there and then I do write songs on my own. I wrote my first song like for the first time, and for me, I have a hard time kind of expressing my emotions and my feelings. And then when I first wrote my first song, I was like, I was impressed. But Bluff, I did not write. I do have an amazing songwriter. Her name
Mhm.
is Rachel. And she's based out in New York City too. And then we have our producer, Drawzilla.
Mhm.
Shout out to Zilla, Rachel, and my management team. I know you guys are watching, hopefully. But yeah, they're amazing. They are in like Pleasant Valley, New York, but we kind of just they kind of chose songs for me that I think would match my vibe
Right,
and my
fit you.
fit. But I mean, I wouldn't mind singing about Bluff and stuff like that. I
Right.
mean, it doesn't really. People are probably like, "Oh, how does that connect to you?" I mean, I've seen people go through stuff like that, though.
Right.
You
So
know,
you
I've
could
never. Yeah,
you
so I could picture it.
picture it, and
Yeah.
because you've seen the experience through your own eyes and what
Yeah.
your perception was
Yeah.
of what it was. How did you when everything was all said and done? What was your first reaction to when you heard it after it was mastered and everything was edited and chopped down and the final product was presented to you? What was your thoughts when you first heard the final product?
Is that me? That was my question. I was like, "Is that me?" Because many people are used to me singing R&B ballads, always ballads, the powerhouse songs.
Right.
And then now when I come into this industry, I gotta like it's now R&B pop. There's no such thing as soul anymore. Like back then,
Right.
Motown and stuff. That's what pop is. It's either ballads or up tempo. So when I did this mid tempo song, I was like, I liked it. Like, and people are like, "Whoa, that's something different for you." But I had like many friends that told me it was good, and
Yeah, different is
they
good.
downloaded it from iTunes and listened to it on SoundCloud. And then I had my music video as well. I did it, and it was fun. Like I've never experienced any of this, so experiencing that for my first time, I was like, yeah, I loved it.
What was your family when they first heard the final product? What was their reaction to it?
What was your reaction, Dad? He was like, I don't know, like they're more of like and they would be dancing. I would be dancing with it too.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
We're gonna and for everyone that if you haven't heard it yet, we're going to definitely be playing that here on while she's here, of course, out of respect, and it is a good song anyway. So you guys will be hearing Bluff here on at the next break. Before we go to our next break, you'll make sure we put Bluff on so everybody can hear what we're talking about. Musical influences. Who are some of your biggest influences on your music?
Bruno Mars is number one. I mean, I have a little crush on him.
Yeah.
Not little, maybe.
You guys about
Big
the same
amount.
height.
Same height.
Yeah, y'all about the same height. Yeah, he's a
I
nice guy.
know.
I met him like 5 years ago. Swear, here in Vegas.
Well, I hope he comes back and you get the connection. I get to meet
I
him.
swear, he came to a studio I was actually working for, and they bought it for the whole day
Oh
so
my
he can
gosh.
shoot his video Treasure.
Okay. Yeah.
And he just done the award show, and he was just a real real cool cat. So yeah, I like that you like Bruno
I
Mars.
love him. He's very good. He's not just like a singer, but he's a good entertainer. Like he
Mhm.
knows how to entertain people. I went to one of his concerts in Hawaii, and my mom went to another one, and I was so jealous. But she was in Hawaii, and we were here. She had to go back for work, so I was like, you know what, go have fun. And then I know he was here. He has a residency,
Mhm.
but we weren't able to make it because I was always busy.
Right.
So hopefully next year when he comes back, I can go. But he's one of them, and Beyonce,
Yeah.
she's a diva.
Yeah. She's
I mean, I love her. That's
she's
what
everything, right?
she inspires me to be a diva. When I'm on stage, it's like when I'm on stage, I'm a diva, and then when I'm just like, oh hi, like no, no.
And maybe you might run into her. You are
Oh.
she does.
She lives in New York.
She
I
has-
know.
exactly. She's
We went
out
on a
there.
tour, and I saw her house. I mean, it was like a condo, and that thing was big.
Right.
And also Etta James.
Oh,
Oh.
now you're going to the classics, and that's nothing wrong with that. So you know your history of who you should be following and who's worth following.
Etta
So you
James,
got
man.
your head screwed on straight. So shout out to your mom and dad for keeping your
Yeah.
head screwed on straight on what good music is. So that is. What about any like the artists that are outside of Bruno Mars? Any of the younger artists you like that's coming up?
Lately I like well, since Selena Gomez has released her songs just
Mhm,
recently,
mhm.
I like it.
I've
I
always
love
liked
those
Gomez.
songs.
I've always liked her.
And then even Ariana Grande too.
Yeah, we just played that song, and you were here in the studio actually singing along with it. Are you more of a Gomez girl or a Grande girl, or you just they
Why
both
you gotta do this
they
to
both
me?
do? It's usually how it is.
In the
People-
middle.
In the middle. So that probably
Because
push
Ariana
you like it.
Grande has that sass. Gomez, she has a sass, but she has that emotion. Like,
Right.
so it's two things together that I can put together, and it's like, bam, in the middle.
Gomez got that emotion, and she's still going through that hurt.
I know when she sang that "Lose You to Love Me" song, I was like, I felt the pain in that music video, and just watching her, like her face going through all of that. I'm like, gee, she's
It's like
been
they
through a
kind
lot.
of the two of them kind of did a number on each other because even he has he's
Right,
married
like
now.
the Purpose and all those songs
Yeah,
that he did in the
and
past.
yeah, and even he has is going through his own stuff. So it's like I don't know if it was a toxic relationship or what, but the two of them
They were amazing though together, but
really did a number on each other where it really changed who they were as people after the fact that they were over with. So
yeah,
that but relationships have a way of doing that to you,
Mhm.
good or bad, that they can just change you for the better or the worse. And they probably both changed into better people. You can see
Yeah.
that they both are very emotional now because
Yeah.
he's very vocal even on his Instagram about going through his issues and his mental health. And he
Yeah.
that wasn't like him. He wasn't like that before. He was real pompous and arrogant.
like for some reason, all
Yeah.
of a sudden at this time of the year,
Mhm.
just things just started going down.
Yeah.
But then it has helped them as artists though,
Yes.
with music.
Yeah, because they're even
Yeah.
growing even more probably so maybe they had to meet each other
They did.
to get to where they are currently now in their
Yes.
in their lives. What about you? Any serious hurts like that in relationships coming for yourself? I know you're only 19, but it can happen at a young age.
Not really.
No, not
like
really?
that's why I still gotta experience
Mhm.
more stuff.
Your dad's like,
Yeah.
please no.
That's probably my dad. Yeah, like I just because it's always about music for me. So
Right.
later on, when I'm settled and I know what I want to do, I mean, I know this is what I want to do, but making sure like this is
This is
it
and this
is all planned out
all on
and
cruise control.
nothing is going like interfering. Then
Right.
that's when I'll
You
be
see,
ready for it.
you're playing you're playing a smart game for the game of life. Yeah, take care of the business first.
Mhm.
All the rest of the stuff, if it's meant to be, it will fall in place,
Yeah.
and everything will be good. Just he or she, whoever it may be,
Mhm.
just has to understand that the career is the
It's
most
always that's always
is the top key for you.
yes.
Do you have any shows coming up or performances you're going to be doing for outside of Vegas or in Hawaii? I know you in Hawaii you did some shows.
I did. So I did have my a Timeless Princess. So a Timeless Princess, my dad's good friend. Like they're basically brothers. He created a show called A Timeless Princess, and A Timeless Princess is about a historical princess in Hawaii.
Mhm.
She this is a fictional story, but it's like the present and the past come together and it comes into a big deal or something like that. So I was the role of Princess Kai'olani, and she's made a huge impact to our people in Hawaii because she's made a lot of sacrifices for us. And then we have the Queen, Queen Liliuokalani. She has made a huge impact as well. So I feel like we wouldn't be able to be doing the things we are doing in Hawaii if it wasn't for her.
Right.
But it was about Kai'olani seeing a Marine in the present, 2000, I think 2011.
Okay.
And I was in 1893, and they met up. Eventually, she went in the present day. They fell in love,
Oh wow.
and with the just with the simple kiss, she'll get sent back to her time. Like they'll go back to their times.
Wow, that's
In
a deep
1890,
story.
yeah. But it was amazing, and all my family were there, and I'm very so acting is one of my weaknesses.
Right.
But being in a lot of productions, I kind of grown from
Right, it's
that,
gonna make
and
you
it
better.
has made me better.
Right.
Just like singing, right?
Right.
You're never perfect on your first time. But when I first got casted, I was struggling. I had challenges. I was like, it was hard for me to cry. It was hard for me to act, even sing some of the songs because it's musical theater.
Mm-hmm.
And then going through those 4 months, going all the way through the end, it just made a huge impact, and I changed a lot, and I made people cry in the audience. And I was like, that was my goal. And my goal was to cry on stage. I couldn't cry on stage at all until the last show I cried because it was the last show. I'm trying. I'm thinking of whatever. I'm thinking of like dogs. I love dogs. And if I think of something sad of a dog, I can't do it. I'm like, I can't cry.
You can't cry?
I don't know.
What's this really, really sad like memory for you? Like what's like when you think about it, just brings you down? Like, is there a relative that was super, super close to that you guys are, that passed on?
So see that's hard for me. I mean, a lot of things can bring me down, but not to the point where I can cry.
Gotcha.
Like, for example, my grandpa passed away a couple years ago, or a year ago, almost 2 years ago. And that was a sad time for me and stuff like that. But then I think of the happy times with him, so it doesn't make me feel down or feel sad, because I'm like, all those memories that we've built and we've created makes me happy. But the things that do make me sad is if I see a video of an animal getting hurt. I'm like a big animal lover, and no, I'll just be watching. I'll just be watching on my phone like this. If I just see something happen real quick, I'm sobbing.
What about movies? Is there any movie that will get you?
Only dogs. Dog movies.
So see, for me, like I'm agreeing with you, like Marley and Me.
Marley, oh my God, I was thinking of that in my head.
Yes. That scene. It's a beautiful scene if you think about it. How they kind of just see the kids, how they are dealing with it in their own way.
And Hachiko, have you ever watched that one?
Yeah, that true story. True story on that.
Yes,
one.
I know.
Both are true stories.
Those I can cry, and my friends be like, "Why are you crying?" I'm like, "You don't understand. I just watch the saddest thing." They know I'm animal lovers. Like,
do you have any animals at
oh
home?
yeah, I have 3 little rats.
Yeah.
Not rats, dogs, but I call them rats because they're rats.
They're little guys.
I have one. They're all girls. They're grandma, mom, and daughter. And the smallest one, the baby's attached to me. Everywhere I go, she's attached. If I'm about to go in the shower, she needs to be sitting right by the tub. Yep, that's how she is.
What kind of dogs are they?
The grandma's a teacup Yorkie.
Okay.
And then the other 2 are Yorkie Silky.
Gotcha.
They're mixed, yeah.
Cool. Well, you got 3 generations flowing there with you.
Yes.
We're going to take our first break. Should we play your song Bluff for everyone to hear and to
go
love?
ahead. Yeah.
I'll let you go ahead and intro it if you like.
All right, guys. So this is one of my singles. You guys can go ahead and look for it on all social media platforms: SoundCloud, YouTube, Apple Music. What else? Spotify.
I got it.
All
on
those
Amazon.
things. Sorry, Amazon. Yes. Go ahead and check it out. But here it is. Hope you enjoy it.
I can only give you so much. I can only give you so much of me. I've been thinking about you too much. Yeah, you're all up in my head, and it's controlling me now. I don't wanna fall for you. Been there, done that, crashed and burned with your smile and those eyes make me forget all the lies you told. Hate it when you call me baby, treat me like a boo thing. I ain't know Alicia got me, I should up. And I'ma call your bluff, find love. Call my girl LMA if you're tryna get booed up, boot up. Baby, my heart is folding. Got more than what I'm holding. Heartache I can't afford to hold. But you can call my bluff. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can call my bluff, my bluff, my. You can call my bluff, my bluff, my. Let's take our time, we don't gotta rush. Got a bad full blown crush. And I've been thinking about you too much. This codependency, I can get enough. Can't get enough. Hear you when they talk about us. They don't know about us. How I this the world, don't wanna. We could live up in the past. jealous. Boy, we got the balance. Baby, whenever you gon' pick me up. Baby, my heart is folding. Got more than what I'm holding. Heartache, I can't afford it. Oh, but you can call my bluff. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can call my bluff, my bluff, my. You can call my bluff, my bluff, my bluff, my bluff. You can call my bluff, baby. Trying fuck, trying love, there's a fine line. Eat it up, sip it up like a Mai Tai. Turn you on like a nightlight. Knock you out, go night-night. I wanna get nasty, won't let you get past me. I'm bendy, elastic, no baby, no plastic. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care. Try and fuck, show me love on your timeline. Look me up, I'm the one on your prime time. I'm the star, yeah, it's my time. See me killing from the sideline. I wanna get nasty, make you feel fantastic. I'm bendy, elastic, Olympic gymnastics. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care. I know you feeling on me, but don't catch no feelings, 'cause I don't care.
And that was I Don't Care by Miss Gina Valentina. Single before that was Bluff by Miss Ciana. Ciana, that I really love that song. I remember when it first came out, I downloaded it on Amazon.
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to Amazon and their music catalog for $9.99 a month, unlimited songs. But really happy with that song. Are you happy with the direction that you are going in musically? With this single Bluff coming out first?
Yes, I really am happy. I feel like ever since I had that song, a lot of great things have came my way. A lot of opportunities, a lot of doors have opened, and many people were interested and had a lot of connections with other people as well.
Cool.
So that went well. That's
Cool.
the one thing that went well.
Now, a lot of people, recognize you. Obviously, you were on a show, you did 2 seasons of the show that sometimes is here in Vegas, America's Got Talent.
Yes, I was on
Um,
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, season 3 and a season 8, I believe. Or where the
I was on season. Jeez, I forget.
I don't know. I googled this. and it's-
Okay, probably then.
but-
I don't remember. I don't
yeah.
remember the seasons.
Yeah,
I
it
just
was-
know how old I was
Yeah,
when I
it
was on
season
there.
3 and season 8. Obviously 8 was your bigger season
Bigger
where
one,
you
yeah.
went a lot further.
Mhm.
What was your experience like being on that show? Not once, but you were on there twice. At obviously 2 different stages of your life. You were much younger in the first time you were
Mhm.
there versus the second time. What did you take from being on the show 2 times and what would you reckon? What would your advice be to that singer that wants to audition
Yeah.
to go on it?
Well, I've learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot of ups and downs throughout the show. Like the first time I was on there, I was only 8 years old
Mhm.
or 9 years old, I believe. So I was scared. I was nervous. And then when I found out I didn't make it, then I cried because I didn't know how to react to all of that because
Right.
then it was new to me. And then a couple years later, I kind of grown as an artist again, been practicing, and then I go through again and made it all the way to the quarterfinals, which I had the chance to sing at Radio City Music Hall.
Mm-hmm.
But throughout all of that, I've learned a lot. Like, for example, when I performed going through the first round all the way through the third round, I was mentored by good vocal artist, good vocal coach, and mentored by like Mel B, Heidi Klum. Like they'll tell me what I would have to fix sometimes. I mean, sometimes they won't show that on the show, right? Because
Right,
that's
right,
behind the scenes.
right.
But just getting all that type of mentoring helped me. So for those who want to go out there, I mean, don't be afraid. I know sometimes you're just afraid to go out there and show your talent and show yourself, but I feel like that's good because you get the exposure, you get the experience, and then you know how it would all be when you get into the music industry.
Right. How do you feel about like shows like The Voice, American Idol? America's Got Talent is more of a variety talent show versus
Mhm.
it being a straight singing show. How do you feel about those shows when it comes to obviously when a person wants to let's say American Idol and The Voice,
Mhm.
they're trying to become a next star.
Right.
And if we just go back and look at the the
Mhm.
history of both American Idol and The Voice, they really haven't produced a lot of mainstream stars. Maybe they have like a
Like
little
in
bit
the
of
past
yeah,
on American Idol. Yeah.
they may have, and even American Idol, you may can count maybe on two hands who actually really became a
Yeah.
bona fide star from the show. Why do you think it is like that for shows that really originally started off to say, hey, if you come here and you do well, it's going to take you to the next stratosphere and you're going to become that next, star in music. And it really just has not panned out over these last, but yet the ratings are still high,
Yeah.
especially on The Voice. The ratings are still high.
Mhm.
People are still coming to audition to get their shot to get on television. Is it they just want to get on television for however long,
fun or just like
long
going
that season is, or
Yeah.
do they really want a career in music? Because
Mhm.
both these platforms are showing that you really not going to have people are going to be on to the next season of of these shows after your season's done, whether you win it or not.
Mhm. So I think that when you're on these type of shows, we as artists, we want to go on there for exposure
Hmm.
and then again learning experiences. I feel like it is hard to make it in this industry, especially with social media and all of that going on,
Right.
and pros and cons about this industry. But when you're on there, I feel like us for artists, we want to go up there so we get noticed
Right.
because there's millions of people watching the show, and I know how you said, oh, there's not a lot of artists that don't make it on the show
Hmm.
or they don't make it big, but I feel like in order they go on there to share their talent, but you have to have that unique sound. That's
Right.
what I've learned watching these shows and doing all my film studies, like watching Bruno Mars, Beyonce. You see how they're different. Like I know every artist, everyone is talented, but that you can't have that same sound as everyone sings.
Right.
Like you have to have a different look. You have to have a different style. Um, the way you act, you have to be different, unique in your own way, and your voice. Bruno Mars, he has a raspy voice
Right.
and he sings high. That's what makes him different and he's from Hawaii. So a lot of guys, they don't sing high.
And he puts a lot of soul,
So yes,
R&B
so
into-
that's what
and he's always
that's
evolving.
what makes him stand out because he has that Motown, but then he has that pop
Hmm.
that mixed together. So it's not just like always old music; it's now modern day music.
And none of his albums sound the same.
Yep.
It is
Mhm.
different from one to the next, and I'm can't
Yep.
wait to see what his next one's
I
gonna
know, I
sound.
can't wait either.
Where he's coming from with that, because
Yeah,
his last two albums have just been three, if it's just been money.
yeah.
And they don't sound. Each one does not sound.
One is
nothing like
either
the other.
like a islandy vibe, and then
Mhm.
the other one is more of like a emotional type of vibe, and
Yeah,
then
he
this
had-
one now is like a
had that-
upbeat,
yeah,
like
he had that funk in it, and it's like
Motown or
like
something,
the
that funk.
'70s all thrown into it.
Yeah.
I was just like, it's like, but that, you're right. You have to be different outside of the box. Everybody, has talent, but you have to be like, what makes you.
You
what-
just got to go for it.
that
Like you got to
special
just be that character,
Right.
and that's what I'm trying to find in myself too. Like trying to find that character,
How, now,
be
how
an
are you?
artist.
Now, that's an interesting thing that you say. Now, how are you? How are you trying to find that character? What are you doing?
Well, all these songs that I'm trying to figure out that I've been recording,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find out like what matches my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know what matches my voice, but what will make it out there? What will help all the people that all my fans that do like me even more.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that's why I watch videos. I watch, for example, Cardi B. Look at her. She's big. I
Right.
watch her. I watch how they do things, how they dress, how they act, and that kind of, now I gotta take bits and pieces of all of that and say, okay, now what can I do to do it my own way? Not copy them, but how can I figure it out? So I'm still trying to figure it out on my own.
Right.
You know,
I think
'cause-
people like Cardi because she's so truthful. And she just
Yes,
does
she's
not,
very on. She doesn't
does not
care about what
care.
people think about her, and that's what I mean. I don't care about what people think about me, but I think I just need to show it more that I don't care.
Right.
And coming out of pageantry, that is hard, right?
Right,
Like
right.
pageantry, you got to be formal, very well spoken, and then now I'm coming into the industry where people don't care how you look, they don't care how you talk,
Right.
right? So I'm like,
Be
that's
yourself.
why I'm trying to get out of that, break out of that shell, and trying to figure it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So who's your biggest influence at home? You know, you talked about Bruno and Beyonce outside of the house, but in your home, who's been some of your biggest, you know, obviously they all support you, but who's your biggest influence from your family?
I can't just say one. I would actually have to say my parents
Mhm.
because, you know, they've always been there every step of the way with me. They kind of, even times where I was like, I'm going to be honest, I almost stopped singing for a year because going through these challenges that I faced in high school
Mhm.
with people not liking me.
Right.
So I was like, you know, I don't know if I
Jealousy.
want to keep doing it. And then one thing about them, I mean, they'll get on my butt about it. They'd be like, you know, they'll even get frustrated. And I like that because that motivates me. They're like, you know, just go for it. Don't even worry about what they say. And that's why I'm still doing what I'm doing, because they push me and they're always supporting me through everything I do in my life.
Cool. Oh, now we're gonna see any more duets with you and your brother? Aw.
Oh, trust me, I try and ask my brother too. I'm like, I ask him every time, can you do a cover with me? But you know, he's a boy. He's the only boy in the family. I mean, I have a sister, but she's not with us. She's like, you know, she's married now. She's on
Gotcha.
her own. So my brother, he's always video games, Fortnite, all that. So I'm like, can you do a cover with me? He goes, no, okay, get out of my room. I was like, okay, like, so I can't.
He sounds good. That's why I was asking. Y'all sound great together.
Yeah, he sings. I mean, he sings, but not like professionally, but he does it for fun. He's
Right.
like, oh, he wants to sing when he wants to sing. I did a cover with my mom on my Instagram, and I'm trying to do a cover with my dad, but I got to figure out a good song, you know, that fits both of us, or that fits him.
That fits him? Yeah, you know, go back to one of the old school songs, then, you know, and pull it out for.
Yeah, he likes stylistics. You gotta sing this song.
Now your voice, you spoke about, you know, it being, you know, raspy. Did that you know, and more on the low scale, did you have you always liked that, or didn't, or wanted to change that, and you know, maybe speak in a more higher register, and did somebody tell you like, no, where you at is good?
I've always liked my voice. I think that's what makes me unique. The tone, having this raspy voice. People think that, because like, I always sing, I always belt in songs,
Mhm.
but then they don't realize I can go real low
Right.
like this, right?
Which
when I'm
is
singing.
unique for a woman.
Yeah. So that's why I like that, because that's what makes me kind of like stand out as an artist.
Right.
But I mean, even if something is really high for me, I'll keep practicing until I reach it. Like, for example, A Timeless Princess the musical.
Mhm.
Those songs were high, and I don't sing high. I'm not a soprano, but I'm a mezzo alto, right?
Awesome.
So I had to just keep practicing, pushing. I don't care if I crack. I just keep cracking. But I don't want people around me. I got to be in my own room and crack. That's why if I'm singing in front of my mom or dad and I crack, I'll be like, because they'll say something. I got to just be in my own room. But then if I could just keep pushing and trying, but singing it in a supportive way, not hurting myself, then
Right.
that's
That's
how
what
I can get it.
That's
Yeah.
what you for. And the only reason why I was asking about, you know, the low register, you know, the group TLC,
Mm-hmm.
when they first came together, T-Boz, who has the most distinct voice out of the three of them,
Yeah.
she did not want to sing where she was at. She wanted to, you know, be higher. And Dallas Austin, who's, you know, producer out of Atlanta, told her like, no, you need to stay down there because no one's doing that. He's like, if you do this and stay there, and, you know, they had like a lot of arguments back and forth about where her voice would be. He's told her like, if you stay where you are and do this, he's like, trust me, you guys are going to sell a lot of records because no one sounds like you. Like,
Yeah.
we got the high with Chili. We don't need both of you to be high. And so I know for some women artists, they you know, because people, like you say, will like, hey, you sound like a guy, da 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 da, and so it kind of plays on your ego. But it's a cool thing because not a lot of females can do that.
Yeah.
Can go there, which is special.
I mean, sometimes for me, like one of my friends were here visiting from Hawaii,
Mhm.
and we were singing, and you know, she sings high, I sing low,
Right.
But I was like, can I go high and you can go low? And she doesn't really sing low. She was like, why? I said, I mean, because I'm always singing low. So sometimes for me, I want to go high so
Right.
people know that I can sing high.
Right.
So I'm like, okay. So she let me do it. And then it came out good. So I'm like, there we go.
Sweet.
Sometimes that's how I feel.
Now, we just got done with Thanksgiving. We talked a little bit about this off camera, but just
Mhm.
for those at home, what is you guys' tradition in your family with that Thanksgiving as we're here in the holiday season? What are some of the traditions that you guys do? I saw your tree and stuff on your Instagram and stuff, and you're playing the Christmas music. What do you guys like to do for Thanksgiving?
So Thanksgiving, that's when we do family gathering and how we're thankful for everything. We just come together as one.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad, he's an executive chef. He was an executive chef in the military. He served
Oh.
26 years in the Navy.
Oh, thank you for your service. sir.
Yeah. So he cooked for the admirals in the military. He even cooked, I think he cooked for one of the presidents. So I was like, that's why when I tell people my dad was an executive chef, they're like, oh, you must get good food. So every time we have a family gathering, there's a lot of food and a lot of leftovers. But that's a good thing because we have a lot of family come over, so they'll take. But that's our tradition. We just eat turkey, stuffing, all of that. And
Now, does that tradition carry over into Christmas as well? They do the same thing?
Yes. So in Hawaii, I'm going to say, okay, is that okay? Okay. I got to ask. Okay. So in Hawaii for Christmas, on Christmas Eve, that's our tradition where we go to my uncle's house. Each kid brings a present. I mean, once you're older, you don't do it anymore because you want to save your presents, right? But when you're younger, you get a present. And guess who was Santa? Hawaiian Santa was my dad. And he'll make like a speech and saying America, like all of that. And then he'll call the kids up, take picture, and then they get to open one present on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
So that was our tradition. And then on Christmas Day, we just go ahead and open our presents, and that's how we are.
And kind of just stay at home and chill out.
Yeah, but since we moved here, now we don't do that Christmas Eve thing because that was back in Hawaii with my uncle's house.
Gotcha.
So now we just have a family gathering on Christmas Day
Eve.
after
Christmas
Day. Yeah. So now it's Christmas Day.
So
Yeah.
no Christmas
Because there's
Eve.
no little kids here anymore.
Oh,
All the
okay.
little kids are back home. Like here, my mom's side, we have like one younger cousin, and he's probably I think like 7.
Oh, okay.
But that's the only
Those
younger
are
one we have. Yeah.
Gotcha. So Hawaii is more of everybody more of the
That's
younger,
where
younger
all
generation.
of my family is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome. We're going to get into one of our fun parts of the show. It is 10 questions here with Miss Ciana.
Oh,
We got some
gosh.
questions to
We
ask
did
you.
this last time.
It's just 10. Yep. We got some new questions for you. So we're gonna go right into it and play 10 questions here with Miss Ciana and see where she's at with these 10 questions. They're simple. They're not hard. So don't fret over there. Are you ready?
I am.
You are. All right. All right. Question number 1. What is the number 1 quality that you look for in a friend?
Personality.
Personality. It's gotta be like a funny one or a serious one.
When I say personality, fun, but they have to not be fake.
Gotcha. So authentic as well. What is your favorite word that you like to use?
Oh God.
Me, it's facts. I'm always saying that. Like say something and I'll go facts.
I don't know. I don't really have one.
You don't have a favorite word?
No.
What's your favorite word that you would say over in Hawaii? You guys have a Hawaiian saying that you would say?
Portuguese.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I mean, it's like, oh, you Portuguese, like, oh, you so, can't- like, you so, like, crazy, like, cuckoo.
No. All right, question 3. What did you want to be as a kid? I mean, you're still kind of a kid, but when you were younger, like, maybe in that 4 or 5 age, what did you saw yourself being? Was it always a singer?
A cash register.
Yeah, that's
No,
pop.
literally, I didn't know it was a cashier, so I said cash register.
Yeah, you would have been making a lot of money because we get a lot of use out of cash registers these days. If you had a superpower, what would you like it to be?
Reading people's minds.
Ooh. Do you think you go crazy?
Probably.
Probably.
Most likely.
You have to get a helmet or something
Be
so
like-
to kind of, dull it out.
Right.
What is your biggest turn on? Is it creative, spiritual, or emotional? I know we talked about you connecting to emotions, but what is your biggest creative outlet? Is it being creative, spiritual, or emotional?
Spiritual.
Spiritual.
Mhm.
Cool. What's the one thing that can turn you off from being a friend with another person?
them being fake.
Them being fake. So keep it real, folks.
I've had a lot of fake friends. Like, I don't want to deal with that anymore.
Oh, geez. You're going to tell me how you dealt with that. What is your favorite hobby?
Singing.
Singing. And next question. What is your favorite place to visit that you've never visited that you would like to go?
So that I never visit. I've always wanted to go to Japan.
Japan. Sweet. Maybe that's in the cards. Maybe that's in the cards. Japan loves R&B and all that good
I
stuff.
would love to go to Japan.
All right. Question 10 to close it out. If heaven exists, which I think it does, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates of heaven?
Your family is okay.
Family is okay. Come on in and have some fun. And that is 10 questions with Miss Ciana. Thank you. So you said you had a lot of fake friends.
Oh, yeah.
Is it because of your talent brought them, to be that way?
Yeah.
How did you handle it?
Well, I thought I've had a lot of friends because for me, I don't really care about keeping a circle small. I kind of just like, oh, come on in.
Right,
Like, I don't mind. That's how I am. I love building connections with people. I'm like,
let's let it grow. If
let
it's
it
love,
grow,
let's
right?
let it grow.
But I've experienced this time where I won my school talent show. And of course, I'm not expecting to win. I kind of like to do it just because that's my talent.
Right,
I want to share my talent, right? Why not? Like, I won. And then eventually that's when I found out I had fake friends because nobody talked to me after.
Wow.
People said you didn't deserve to win to me straight up. And I was just like, when they said that to me, I wasn't like sad or anything. I was like, okay.
I'd have been like,
Thank you.
Well, who did? If not me, who did deserve to win? Tell me.
Well, I was just like, okay, that's fine. Like, that's your opinion. That's what I think. Like, that's your opinion, go ahead and say what you want to say.
Right.
But it just got to the point where they think that I'm always bragging about my music career, which I never talk about.
Right.
Only if they ask about it, but that's it. But ever since then, since that time, and then when the school year ended, I kind of I was just by myself. Never had any friends. I would always stay in the classroom or just do my schoolwork.
Just to yourself.
And then I'll go to school. Then I'll just stay after school by myself and wait for my parents, or I either go to the shopping center that was close by and sit at Starbucks and just wait for my parents to pick me up.
Wow.
But this was my freshman year. Then after that, when I moved schools, then I had good friends there,
good friends.
and I kept my circle small.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you have to deal with bullying as well?
At
At any stage of your high school or
oh
middle
yeah,
school?
that was my freshman year. That was the worst part. And then elementary school I did, middle school I think it was elementary, middle, and freshman. And then after that, never had to deal with anything.
Right. Oh, wow.
I think it's just because I went to a school where so there's a school in Hawaii, Radford, and there's a lot of military kids there, and I'm a military brat. So it's not like a military school, but kind of like when they're coming from another state being deployed, that's where they go. That's the #1 school. And many people, they don't get jealous there because we're all from different areas. So
Right.
they accept whatever comes their way. And that's what I liked about them. Like, they always supported me through everything that I've done in the school. So
Right.
when I was there, I felt comfortable. Never had to worry about who's behind me, what people are going to do to me. I was like, there's just, everybody was chill.
Just kept cool.
I loved it.
Just wow. That's that's crazy. When somebody's good at something, how people kind of
Because I was afraid that I was like, okay, if I move schools, I hope it just doesn't keep going like this, because I already had to experience it all the
Right.
way from elementary.
Right.
And when I made that change, I was like, why didn't I go my freshman year?
Finally, people get it and fault me for having a talent. Jeez.
I know.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy. But it does happen a lot
It does.
in today's society. What is your take on? We talked about social media and how it is a lot of work to obviously maintain that and keep that up. What is your take on social media? Because it can be used as a weapon of good, and it can be used as a weapon of evil. Do you think the world is better with social media in it, or do you think we're worse now that it's here and it's not going anywhere?
I think that's very controversial because, it could be a good and a bad. So the good thing about it is, of course, we're using social media to connect with friends or family that we haven't seen in a while.
Right.
That's how then we'll eventually later on meet up in person and interact with each other. That's why social media is a good thing, and raising awareness for all these nonprofit organizations or charities such as that. And then the bad thing, and for me as an artist, like singers, that's how you promote yourself.
Right.
That's how Taylor Swift got discovered, by posting on YouTube and all that social media stuff. And then the bad thing about it is just a lot of cyberbullying.
Right.
And people kind of always, how do you do that? Their image, people got to say something about someone's image. Like, oh, you look this way, you look that way. And that's why many get affected by it, because they're like, oh, they're always judging me on how I look. But I feel like social media should just be a good thing and let people express their feelings and their bodies and their emotions.
Right. And And we all can't be the same, and that would be just a terrible, boring world if we were.
If we were all the same, what would be different? Like,
exactly, it would just be boredom.
Boring.
And you know what they say about boredom, people die of boredom.
Yeah.
Before we close out here, just want to bring you guys. iDrink is one of our sponsors here. You can find out more about them over at idrinkbeverages.com, or you can find out check it out their Instagram page at iDrink Beverages. For those that are in the spirit of giving, if you go over to at Common Tree on Instagram, we are doing a thing called the Sack. You can also see it on my page over at Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem. It's a Christmas party for the Title I students over at Walter Jacobson. If you'd like to sponsor a child and be a part of it, hit me up on Instagram over at Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem, or you can check out Common Tree LV as well. And it's $30 just to make a kid's dream comes true. For those that don't know what Title I means, it means basically they are kids who are required by the state to receive 3 meals while they're at school, because it may be the only meals that they get that day. They're also are not living in a place that they can actually say it's their home. They're in a temporary situation. Either they're sleeping on a relative's couch, or they're living in a weekly rental, or even in some worst cases living at a shelter. So and that's over at Walter Jacobson Elementary School here in Las Vegas. But if you are not in Las Vegas and would like to, like I said, sponsor one of the kids of the Title I, it is $30, and we do have a PayPal set up over at Common Tree Instagram page at Common Tree LV, or you can just come to mine over at Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem, and give back to the kids over at Walter Jacobson Elementary. Ciana, people, how can they find you on social media? Not to bully, but just to support her and to
go ahead. Hey, I don't really care.
Well, you'll get that block if you do it. You'll get that block. But how can people find you and support you in your new music on social media?
Well, you guys can follow me on Instagram, officially Ciana. That's where I post all my pictures, my videos, and then I have my Facebook page, Ciana Pelekai Music page. My Twitter, Ciana Pelekai 10.
Simple.
There we go. That it's just simple.
It's
just those three.
Simple as that. Folks.
It's just always Ciana Pelekai in it. Just look up that name and they'll pop up somewhere.
It is simple as that. We're gonna go into our last song, and we can come back when we got more here of Ciana here in the studio with us, and we'll be wrapping up and saying goodbye. But we're gonna go right into one of my favorite songs of Christmas. It is the Christmas song by Al Jarreau here on Music, Movies, and Models of Mayhem. This is Al Jarreau, the Christmas song, and we'll be right back with more Ciana Pelekai here on Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh, and every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although times, many ways. Merry Christmas to And so I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas to you.
And that was Mr. Al Jarreau with the Christmas song. We are back with more Ciana Pelekai here on Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem. We're gonna getting ready to come to an end here. Any shout outs to any of your family or friends that support
So I
you?
want to shout out to all my family in Hawaii. If you guys are watching, if you guys are watching, thank you so much for supporting me. I know you guys haven't been here, but I know you guys are supporting me all the way from there, and all my family here in Las Vegas too, and my immediate family, my mom, dad, brother, and sister. Thank you to them for everything they have done throughout everything I've done throughout my life. Sorry, I repeated myself.
And what she's going to continue to
And
do.
then and then to my management team, John Tones Music Group, for discovering me as an artist and helping me become a musician in the music industry. To Rachel, Zilla, all of you out there. To Lanai, I want to thank you. I hope if you're not watching, but he's helped me go onto this app called Kumu, and it's people in the Philippines. And
Oh, nice.
ever since I've joined that app, it's like a live stream. All the wonderful, supportive Filipinos, they have watched my live every time I went on, and I'm Filipino myself, so that kind of helps getting all of that. But just thank all of you and all my fans and supporters out there as well. Thank you.
Well, Ciana, it's been a pleasure having you on the show and seeing you from what was that, last year that we had first passed that cross?
Man, when was that? I
Yeah.
think that was,
It was-
almost
it was-
the same time around this
yeah,
time, right?
it was the fall of right before you guys after you guys had just won.
Yeah,
after
it was
you
right
guys had
after
won,
that.
which was like in the fall of 2018. But man, you definitely, I know.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
here we go into 2020. It's crazy. But just watching you from afar, seeing what you're doing, just say, best of luck, and I love what you've done so far, and I can't wait to hear
Thank
what
you.
the other new music that's coming out. What that sounds like. You guys have a tentative date when you think it might be released?
No, we're
No?
still trying to figure all of that out because we're trying to get everything together.
Get everything together. And so, big shout out to your management team and
And big shout out to you.
oh,
Thank you,
Ciana. I
Mr.
appreciate-
Kyle.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Kyle, for allowing me to come on the show.
Oh, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure having
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Safe travels as you head back to New York on the 12th.
Mhm.
Folks, make sure you guys continue to watch us. We'll be back next week. We got the artist known as Cameron Levert from the famous Levert family that's going to be on the show. Make sure you guys stop over to Commentary LV to find out more about the SAC, or you can come over to my page over at Music, Movies, Models, and Mayhem. We'll be back again next Monday on that's the 9th of December at 7 p.m. again. We'll be back here in the studio again. Brand new studio. Get to show it to a little more to you next week, as it'll be even more together than it is right now. As you guys go about your week. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other. Make sure you be good to yourselves and be good to each
Yes.
other. And for those people out here in the holiday season, I wanted to make a point of this. Please, if you are drinking, it is no reason to be driving drunk.
Yep.
We got Lyft, we got Uber out here. If speed kills, there's we're not professional race car drivers. Slow it down. You don't need to get to wherever you got to get to that fast. And if you got to get somewhere on time, then leave 20, 30 minutes. You're supposed to, more normally than you would, and to avoid all of that. And the only reason why I say that because a young lady came out here for Thanksgiving on Thursday, and she came out here early too. Somebody covered her shift. Her and her 3 kids traveled here to Vegas on Thanksgiving Day, and that lady, a guy decided to run a red light and hit her on the southwest side of town here, and she did not make it.
Oh.
And she leaves behind three kids, and who are now scarred for every Thanksgiving that's going to show up, that their mom is no longer with them, and all because of a driver wanted to just get in the car, hop behind the wheel because he was drunk. So folks, there's just no need for it, especially this holiday season. It's okay to have a nice time and be fun and festive, but please just look out for each other and not drive drunk or speed because they can kill. We'll see you guys here next week. We can close it out with one of my favorite songs. This is Last Christmas by the band called Wham! And we will see you guys again next week. And thanks to Ciana for being
Aloha.
here. Aloha.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. Oh, say Merry Christmas in Hawaii.
Melekalikumaka.
That's right. That's the way to do it. Take care, folks. We'll see you again next week.